Everyone, welcome and everybody tuning into the live. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully the viewing experience might look a little better. Maybe you'll hear a little bit less tapping on the screen. I've been messing with the with a little bit of the inner workings of my tablet here to try to make it a little bit less annoying, let's just say. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button as we have a very important update. If anybody watched the update this morning, I talked about how XRP, I put a warning out before we had the drop, and I talked about how it looked like we were putting in a bearish hammer, and I talked about what that was. We can go over that a little bit today if anybody's interested in the live, but really what we're going to focus on is what are these support levels, what do we have to do to get back up into the bullish side of town, and what needs to happen if we're going to have a continuation down to the 2020 uptrend. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm very happy, by the way, and I know you obviously noticed it, you might not, but I got my glasses back today, the ones that I damaged when I got in the biking accident, and I really like these ones. I can see a lot better. I feel more comfortable with them on, so that's something. So welcome in. Albert, good evening. Jorge, welcome in. We'll get into the XRP chart. We'll get into the XRP market cap as we've lost about $1 billion here today. It's recovered a little bit now. Justin, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hamza, welcome in. XRP fried chicken, don't forget uphold. XRP Army snapshot is in 25 minutes. Yep, if you own XRP, they're doing a snapshot. It's automatic. It just has to be on the exchange. Thank you for that reminder, XRP fried chicken. Let's see. Matt Holden, good evening. Crypto Roger, welcome in. Yep. Just understand if you're going to use uphold, they allow you to buy when it comes time to withdraw. They require full KYC that they say they share with our IRS under penalty of perjury. Yeah, Crypto Roger, that's what you want. This is an argument I don't understand by law. Can I just ask everybody a question if you don't want them to do that? So would you rather them not do a full KYC when you deposit or withdraw? So what, you want them to just withdraw your money to anywhere? That's not a smart decision by Uphold, and I would not expect them to do business like that. You damn right I want them to, yes, have my identity when I withdraw my money, because it better be going to me if I'm going to a bank account. If you're sending it off of Uphold via not a bank account, you know, if that's your reasoning, that's fine. But if you're talking about not sending it, if you're getting a withdrawal, you want to know your money. Even if you're sending it off the exchange with Uphold, if it's going into a bank, you want to know. But you need to do a KYC with Uphold, not just for when you withdraw. They make it very clear. They're 1090. They're compliant with the U.S. tax code. I talked about this from the beginning. It's one of the reasons I like them. They're very compliant with the U.S. tax code and the government. So pay your taxes. But this is a way to stay transparent so that we can do what we need to do. Just from Uphold to a wallet and your control is all. Oh, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. True. Very true. You do have to do it to send it to a wallet. So, I mean, it's one of those things, though. Do you want it safe? Or are you trying to hide from the government? Like, not saying it's any safer by having to show that, obviously. But it gives you at least more of a layer of security. But I see where you're coming from. That's why I use FEMX. When I was using BitGet and MEXC, I didn't have to do a KYC. Well, now you can't use BitGet or MEXC in the USA. Unless you're already part of it. Let's see who else do we have in here. We got 7 minutes until the daily close, and we'll go over this. I just like to talk to everybody who's here. Everybody who continues to stay emotionless, everybody who continues to stay on, you know, laser focused, even when we're having times where we're going down. This is the time when most people don't watch cryptocurrency. This is the time where most people lose interest. But truth be told, this is the time when I get my most information when we have moments like this. It really is. So in the daily, that is absolutely looking like what we talked about earlier. That's absolutely a bullish hammer. I mean, a bearish hammer. where I don't think we're going to flip back green. We're too far gone here. Unless somehow we were to push back, it's not going to happen. This is a bearish hammer here. So I wonder, does anybody agree, disagree with that assessment before I go and show everybody what a bearish hammer is? Do you all think that that's what that is? Or am I stretching here to say that's a bearish hammer? Tom, welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody tuning in, thank you so much. And Crypto Roger, I appreciate the tough comments with Uphold because you're putting out the truth. You're not fudding it up. You're actually telling reality. I like that. I respect that. Ron D, welcome in. John Hall, good evening, brother. Terry, welcome. Another one, never too liberal in the comments, but always putting out the facts, and I like that. Zach Steele, good evening. Mark Caston. Chat, XRP Stew. Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme. Justin Clark, welcome. Here in Australia, you basically need to do KYC. Yeah, not doing a KYC is very, it's unlikely in most cases now. Especially if you're taking your money out. Randall, I appreciate the comment. Messi, welcome in. Ron D, I believe you get airdrop credit for holding your XRP on which is Zoom. Interesting. Thank you for that information, Ron D. OSW, the last minutes to open September. Keep your finger. Yeah, September is going to be the initial start here. We know what the XRP is going to be bearish. We know we have the 1 billion from escrow to be dumped. It's just we'll see how much within the waning hours, like maybe 4 or 5 a.m. on the East Coast or in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, I should say. We can see how much they actually keep on the exchanges, or maybe they bring some back. We never know. Right now, we're just about 53 billion in circulating supplies. Jorge, welcome in. 4 hour in the green. Alexandro, XLM to 10 cents. We'll see about that. Justin Clark, yes, sir. Agree. OSW, yep. Alejandro, agree. Bearish. Terry, yes, bearish. Next 10 days at least. True. Hey, y'all. True, what's going on? True. Do you think this looks like a bearish hammer? I don't know if you've seen the update earlier, but I think that's what we're sitting on here. And I don't think we can go red here. I think it's going to go green. I think this is going to be a bearish hammer. And yes, it can be a sign of a bullish reversal being a hammer candle, but being bearish, it's more likely to be a sign that yes, we ate up some of the sellers, but nowhere near where we started. A bullish hammer, we would have ate this up and went back into the positive side of this candle. This just seems like we don't have enough steam here. But I'll go over what a bearish hammer is, and you guys can decide as well. OSW, but just so you know, there was some serious movement in the wallet today, so I'm expecting something. There was seriously a lot of movement, yes indeed. Michael, newbie here, just want to listen and learn, but what's KYC? All that means is that's your know your customer. Basically, you have to send in your identification so that they know who you are. So basically, you know how you have to do a verification with anything you do. If you're going to buy a phone, if you're going to get your new license, if you're going to do anything, they make you validate who you are. If you're going to sports bet, that's a KYC. When they make you show who you are before you withdraw. They'll let you put money on before you do it. They always do that. If you play an online casino, they will let you take money out. Or put money on, but when you have to take money out, you have to do it. But once you do that, you know you're paying taxes. I mean, some of them might not be transparent with the government. That's not necessarily what it means. Know your customer was implemented before the tax code. That's more you have to tell them who your identity is. It's more than just pay your taxes. Yes, it's pay your taxes, but get over the tax part. It's more than that. You have to actually tell them your identity. Forget the taxes. Even if you don't make a single fucking dollar, you have to tell, excuse my French, you have to tell them your identity. Even if you're down, let's say you're down $6,000 and you go to withdraw too. For tax purposes, it's irrelevant. Unless you know what you're doing and you write off the $3,500. But they want to know your identity. There's a lot of other things that you have to do. It's not just withdrawal. If you want to do any kind of staking, if you want to do anything that has to do with airdrops, anything that has to do with leverage trading over a certain amount, you'll have to do a KYC. That's know your customer more than just the taxes. But yes, it helps the tax code, but not all are compliant. So that's just the truth. HR, good morning. Welcome in. Con, welcome. Jan, welcome in. Love, I appreciate you tuning in. Justin Clark, yep, plain and simple info coming from Tom right here. Appreciate that. Sometimes simple is the best. Aristoteles, what's going on? Yes, in the great state of Michigan. It's a little chilly today. Donald Choop, welcome in. Michael N, good evening. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just hold your ass up for a year and a day. That's how you beat the tax, man. It goes from 35% to 15% by doing that, and I am very well in favor of that. Binance is very tricky. Will it shut down completely? It depends what's actually going to be made of this, but I speculated for a little while now that Binance is insolvent. That's why they have the BUSD token. That's why they play such a big role with Tether and Circle, so I think that they're probably going to go down to the you-know-what. So it's 8 o'clock, so let's go through this chart real quick. So we, in fact, closed a bearish hammer. So this pattern's looking bearish. Now, I talked about earlier, if we could come down here and hold this 50-cent level, that maybe this could bring this candle down and we could maybe come down here and double tap it. But by putting that bearish hammer in, that means we're likely going to come down here and complete this dot cross. And then we'll come down to likely, first layer would be, we do have a demand zone here, like 48-cent area. So we could come down there and grab some demand, but it really looks like to me if we bust this pattern, we're going to come down here at minimum. And then if you break that area, it's back to the 2020 uptrend, which is at 37.5 cents. But this is a short-term pattern, but it lines up perfectly for a drop here. It really does. But if we can get a little bit of support, but it's going to be hard because we have the escrow dump. Let's see. This is just speculation, but many people believe Ripple could announce a complete settlement with the SEC on September 29th in New York City event. That would be epic. If they do that, it would be epic. There's also speculation that that's when they could announce the Ripple IPO officially to the public, like when the date's going to be and all that stuff. I hope that's not the case. But the SEC is dealing with some issues here, big time. That's a long leg doji in the 2-hourly, so it's showing signs of, slowing down and some indecisiveness. So we very well, after this breakdown, could come back up here to the 518 and look for rejection. That's probably what's going to happen in the immediate short term. 82 watching now. Wow, thank you all so much. 55 likes. Make sure that like button now, push the content, and we'll be able to have a more active discussion as we are now. Justin Clark, Whale's withdrawing and $1 billion from escrow is making things bearish. It sure is. Whale alert, 400 million XRP, 204.2 million USD unlocked at Ripple. So that's the start. That's going to be the start of this escrow right here. It happens at the end of the month. We never know if it's going to be after end of the month, start of the month. They're starting to do it right now. So that's some movement by who said that? OSW, thank you for that. So he said 400 million XRP unlocked from Ripple, so I'm assuming from escrow, worth $204 million. So that was just done. So we're getting into that cycle now. So how much XRP came onto the market, even in this short time frame? There wasn't a ton of XRP right now put on the market. Kyle Kupiak, welcome in, my friend, from Massachusetts, Cape Cod Kyle. Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Always means a lot to see you in the audience. Oh, man. It is getting colder out here today. It really is. Like, to the point where I might have to put my jacket on. I got it. I brought it out here just in case. So with XRP in the 2-hourly, I would fully anticipate, if we're going to have a further breakdown, to retest this break point. It's right around the 518 point. That would just tell us we're still bearish. It looks like that's what we're probably going to do. That bearish hammer leaves a lot to be desired here, especially with the escrow dump. It's almost like it's telegraphing us. So even without the escrow dump, we would be looking at a more bearish proposition in the daily. And if we look at this, we can see what happened. We talked about for the better part of 10 to 12 to 14 days, I don't even know what it was, to come back up here and retest the area. We did. We came up to about 55 cents roughly. We didn't get all the way up to 55.5 or even 57. We just followed the 20-day, got rejected, and now we continue pushing down. The fact we got rejected there gave us a little bit of extra steam to come right back on through the formation. We did not have enough support to hold this breakout point at 54.2. Came back through, and then we didn't even have enough steam to hold the 524, and that was critical. That's the daily time frame, 200 EMA, which we held yesterday, but we closed below it today, showing a very bearish proposition here. We failed the 20-day after we've already had a rejection at the 50 and 100-day when it came through. The 20-day price action, it just came right through those days, or the time frames. And now when we came back up to try to validate the move down, we did. And now we have a bearish hammer followed by a close below the 200-day and the daily time frame, below the 200 EMA. That's very bearish. So unless we get some crazy support here, which seems unlikely in the short term, because we have the 1 billion being unlocked from escrow. And as OSW said, we've already had 400 million just unlocked worth over $200 million. So a lot of activity going on right now. So very informative this live will be, like most of the lives will be. Some of them I go off target, but this one in particular, I'm very laser focused. I feel a lot better today for some reason. I feel like, you know, sometimes you get tested emotionally and you see where you stand, and I feel like something's changing and I like it. So we're sitting in a good spot right now. Not for XRP, but I mean, in the long term, we're sitting in a good spot for XRP. But with the escrow, it always has to make you nervous. We came back in the consolidatory phase, and if we start breaking down anymore, XRP is going to come back to the 2020 uptrend. We're running out of supports, and that's at 375. And then the bearish hammer candles I was talking about. So I guess the only way to really teach is to show everybody. I mean, I can say it. Oh yeah, I have it on here. I brought it up before I came on. I forgot. See, I was smart. I decided to have everything ready before I came on. So the bearish hammer, it shows that the buyers could absorb the selling pressure but could not drive up the asset's price past the opening price. And that's what it looks like. You barely, most of the time, you don't even need to have a wick up top, but most of the time you're not even really going to show a wick at all. That's the inverted hammer on the bottom, the bullish hammer and the bearish hammer right here. You can tell me if you think that's what's going on. The bullish hammer in the green, you can see smaller no upper shadow, closing price, open price. And then you got the long bottom shadow where the lows are at. And then on the red is a bearish hammer, the green is a bullish hammer. The only difference is where the closing and opening price ends. So, and then what is the difference between a bullish and bearish hammer? Since the security price has already increased from buying pressure, a bearish hammer signals the price has topped off, typically resulting in a bearish reversal. Bullish, when the closing price ends above the opening price, a bullish hammer occurs. So I believe this is a bearish hammer. You can let me know what you think. And it's not a hanging, I don't believe, because it's not coming from a price of strength. We're already in a downtrend. If we were at a serious uptrend, some people would call this a bearish hammer or a hanging man. I don't believe this is a hanging man because we were coming from negative price action already. So that's what I'm looking at here, folks. Are we going sub 20 cents, MB? If we break our formation we're in right now, the 2020 uptrend is at 375. If we're in the all-time, let me just preface this. If we're in the all-time pattern, this goes back, this starts back here with the downtrending resistance. For ease of viewing, I put this in at 2021 in September, late September. The uptrend starts back in early 2020. This is the 2020 uptrend, the formation here as well. But this is the uptrend. This formation can bring you until the end of August in 2024. Right now, all we did was came to the short-term resistance before the breakout, and we failed to hold it, and now we're trying to use it as resistance. If that's the case, this will bring you down, and you have a 503 support, which we held. But if we come down and this is confirmed as resistance, you would come down here to the 2020 uptrend. That's your next major support. That's your next major support. If you break that and you're only looking at all-time patterns, and you don't want to look at the in-between, the short-term charts, you would come down next area would be the 2020 uptrend, or the 2017 uptrend, which is down just sub 20 cents. It might actually be just above it now. So right around 20 cents. So if you go back into the shorter time frame, however, you can start talking about these levels. Maybe they don't even matter, but you form this little ascending triangle formation within here. If you break down that, then you have the shorter channel that we've created. And then if the channel's broken, you've got 435, which is the pattern support, which is the swing low. And then you come down to the 2020 uptrend. Now, is it easier to say all of that so you can see the short-term movement? Or is it easier just to have the all-time chart out? That's speculative, so I have both. So this just makes it more transparent. So, let's see, waiting for XRPs to drop the truth. Let's see, I will be backing up the trucks up 40 cents, MB says. Hey, that could be coming up here very quickly because, as I said, if we got the proper liquidity by retesting this bearish cross here, and we did, we came up there and we had a 7 to 8% move or whatever it was when we pushed up, but we immediately reversed back down on the next daily candle. We had one hold, but then we reversed back down. So we got that topside liquidity I thought we needed to make a further move down. Now the question is do we follow along? Is it going to happen? Like at any time news can come out, but with the 1 billion being dumped from escrow, that is something to be had. And if you don't know what that is, it happens every single month. Ripple is going to be dumping. It's like for another 47 months, if not more. It can be more until they fulfill all of their... It's an inflationary tactic, so they don't overinflate the market all at once. Imagine if they dump 47 billion tokens at once right now. It'd be a big mess. You do a billion at a time. You know, it is what it is. But I can show you exactly. So that was August. So we have September coming up here, and we already know some are being unlocked. But you probably won't see any until September for anything new. Yeah, so you won't be able to, but it's always, but you see how they said Ripple unlocks 1 billion XRP from escrow amidst SEC appeal rumors. So a lot of people will try to spin it, so just pay attention to this. That was last month. They'll spin it as something bad's happened, and XRP Ripple is all of a sudden unlocking 1 billion to RID. So the writing's on the wall. People do this all the time, and that's kind of what I wanted to show. But I was hoping there'd be some for tomorrow, but nobody's really written anything yet. See, if I was doing it, I would do something like this. Ripple set to unlock 1 billion XRP tokens from escrow. And then I would say, like I said earlier, on the heels. So anyhow, this is a little bit of backstory. So the locking of XRP and escrow accounts dates back to 2017 with a defined approach to release the token gradually every month in a bid to prevent devaluing the digital currency. In line with the strategy, a total of 1 billion tokens were designed to be released every month over a 55-month period. So it started 2017, so let's just assume it's December. So that was supposed to be over 55 months. Well, you can see where we're at right now. But we'll see. We'll see. It's just a very long, because what they're not saying is they can put back more. So they unlock 1 billion, but a lot of times 5 to 700 million get locked back up. So then that 55 turns into 56 and then 58. Now we're up to 55 would have put us to sometime in 2021, late 2021, early 2022. So long and short is a dangerous game. It sure is, Ron. It sure is. I would not risk your XRP to go leverage trading. That's the #1 way to gamble away your stack. It is what it is. It's the most dangerous game you can play with your crypto. If you're gonna do it, you make sure you don't use the money that you can take away from your holdings. A lot of people will sell their XRP, at least 50% of it, or all of it, with the hopes of doubling their holdings. And what ends up happening is they put back half or less. It's a unbelievable thing that can happen. Don't do it. So here's just some of the stories today. I did some of it. But this is what I wanted to talk about, the scams. And then the rest I'll just release after, if I have any left. But Ripple CTO shows XRP tweet that attracts insane number of scammers. The Ripple executive has found an XRP tweet that has drawn a great number of scammers and shown it to his subscribers. So David Schwartz, Ripple, and a lot of people told me to touch on scams, so I thought this is a good way to do it. David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, and of the XRP Ledger creators taken to XApp to point at an XRP themed post that, as he stated, attracted an insane number of scammers' responses. The post cited by Schwartz is dedicated to the Evernote EVRS upcoming airdrop for XRP holders. Many responses to that post offer the user to take part in a fake XRP airdrop. Like I said, I don't advertise any kind of airdrops unless it's a automatic screenshot on your exchange. I don't trust them. I really don't. The number of scammers responding to this tweet is insane. Evernote XRPL, if I have my XRP in my Zoom wallet, do I have to set up a trust line for the airdrop on the 1st? If so, what is the trust line address? So look what they're saying about Zoom. He's talking about September 1st. So Evernote is a global permissionless layer 2 smart contract platform composed from the XRP ledger. According to their XApp page description, and it will be released in the middle or late 2023. The airdrop to be spread via crypto exchanges that supported among these exchanges are Uphold and BitTrue. According to a recent X post by Upbit, users with a certain amount of XRP on their balances on September 1st will be eligible for the EVRS airdrop. XRP holders will be airdropped EVRS tokens in proportions to the amount of XRP held to a value 50,000 XRP tokens. So you can do it up to 50,000 tokens to post ads. So, and this is what everybody was talking about. I try to fit it in strategically. I actually will probably address this after and release this separately because it's important for Uphold. So calling all XRP holders, Uphold will support the Evernote EVRS airdrop. This allows Uphold's XRP holders to qualify for the Evernote airdrop simply by holding XRP on Friday the 1st, September at 8 a.m. UTC. Now listen, I always ask this, isn't it convenient when they do these airdrops when we're obviously going to have a big drop? So it's one of those things, if you're just buying in and then you're planning on selling it, it's probably not even worth it. If you're looking because you're holding XRP, it's definitely worth it. You take advantage of your holdings. And this is one of the unseen ways that you can actually make a little bit of money back within a downturn and have eventual holdings. But as far as the holding doesn't seem safe to you. This, for me, with Uphold, I don't do anything. They take a snap screenshot. I don't do anything. So I wouldn't go outside to do this and have to do a trust. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to create a trust line or anything. So I don't risk any of it. If they do it, like I said, if they do a screenshot on the exchange automatically and send it to me, so be it. But I don't deal with trust lines. I remember how Lobster was. It's a big nightmare. Once you have a trust line, it's over. That's how they can hack you. That's why I don't ever use Lobster. I used to try. There's money to be made there. But the problem is there's so many scams. So that's what's going on right now. So pay attention. Like as far as Uphold goes, there is no trust line to be done. So if it's telling you to set up a trust line with Zoom Wallet, I'm sure it's different. With some of the other ones, it's different. But with Uphold, you don't set up anything. It's an automatic screenshot. So just pay attention to that. So now coming back to the charts, we've been here for 28 minutes now. Wow, has it really been that long already? 107 people are now tuning in. Thank you for tuning in even on a bearish day. 72 likes. Make sure to hit that like button as will greatly help push this content. Now, can I ask everybody a question? Can you see a difference with how it looks on the screen, or does it look the same as it does every day? And do you hear me tapping the screen as much? This is important. Can you hear that tap as much? I know that was probably super annoying. Looks the same, okay. Just making sure I didn't screw anything up. And yes, hearing the tap. Okay. Like if I'm doing it normal, I know when I hit it hard. But I'm just wondering if it still does the tap. Well, I guess it does if I hit it hard. But anyhow, looking bearish. Thank you, Miss Vicky. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jan. And free beer and hot dogs. Appreciate it. Thank you for the feedback. So XRP, as we know, this bearish hammer we talked about. So I think we can all agree that's what's going on. So that just shows, even though we were able to absorb the sell pressure, we don't have enough to push it out of this area, which oftentimes means you have to go for further liquidity. Now, if we're on the all-time pattern, the further liquidity would suggest a trip to 503, which we had. Now, if we break through it, it would suggest in the all-time pattern, we're just coming down here. We do have a support here and here first. So you could technically stop at the 484 and then the 431. The 484 actually is this demand zone in here. So let's just put it there. That's the demand zone. So if we're asking where we could stop, it would be unprofessional for me to say no. That is the swing low. But ultimately, you'd be trying to trend by having a death cross if it continues, which is the next step up for the daily. It would push you up to this uptrend. And that's the 2020 uptrend. Now, I stay in the shorter time frames just because I think it's easier, because we can show exactly what the short-term patterns are. So right now we're in this ascending formation. If we had to hold the 524 at worst to hold the 200 EMA in the daily, we did not. We failed to break over on the retest of the bearish cross up here, which now should give us support to likely have a death cross here if we can't break up in the immediate short term, which with the bearish hammer is telling us we ran out of steam here, unfortunately. There's just not enough buying pressure. And I'm assuming with the escrow dump tonight, this doesn't have any buying pressure that's just going to come out all of a sudden and surprise us. If it's going to surprise us, it's going to have to be sometime midday tomorrow or going into the second, which usually happens. So let's say we get an overzealous dump, and this would bring us down to the bottom of the channel. So let's play the channel angle. So we have the channel, we have resistance up here, support. This just formed on this support here for the third hit. So if we come down to 44.92, that could be a retest on the channel. So pay attention to that on the escrow dump. If we're not coming to 37.5 cents or the 2020 uptrend, you very well could come back down to the short-term channel and retest that 44.9 area. So does that make sense, everybody? And what's going on with the DXY, you asked? Let's take a look. 103.69, it's retesting the bearish zone. So it's either going to prove bearish or this golden cross is going to play. And it just pulled the golden cross. So what my theory is if crypto goes bearish and this actually plays down, we're exhausting right now pressure to the downside with the dollar. I think they're trying to overinflate the US dollar to make it look better with what the BRICS are doing. Because as we know, come January 1st, it's all but a done deal. They're going away from the US as the world reserve currency as regard their petro. So with that being said, it's over. Without petrol, we're no longer the world reserve currency, and it's going to happen quickly. So I think they're overinflating it right now to kind of keep them from getting rid of our government bonds because the US dollar is worth more. So they're trying to give them a reason to hold on to our bonds and equities when there is none. With the nations that join the BRICS, it's all but a done deal. So 103.66. If we can push back over this and hold with this golden cross, it'll give us support all the way up to 105.30, and I don't even think there's any way we can debate that. We've had a beautiful V-shaped recovery. We've retested the recovery breakdown at the neckline. So, I mean, it's all but ready to push up here. We have a golden cross now. We confirmed the golden cross in 2 daily time frames by holding that support on the 200 EMA. So we'll see if we can continue with this pressure going into the weekend. But it looks like the only difference is here, though, the only difference is exactly. I thought this would have tanked by now, Tom. Thanks for that heads up. No problem. The only difference here, and I appreciate that, is the fact you could say for the first time, and I want to put this back up here because I think it's a little more relevant now, because really, you could start a channel all the way back here and say, okay, we got a channel going all the way through. And you can go even farther back, but it's clear to say we've got an uptrending resistance. So now we go to the support. I think it's pretty clear as well, we've got a pretty defined uptrending support. Even if you come all the way back here, that channel plays all the way through. Now, are we hitting it on resistance now? Is this where we're topping out with the US dollar? By knowing technical analysis, you get your answer. If we're topping out on the US dollar and this golden cross is to fake out the technical traders in the daily, you will get rejected here in the daily time frame today. Even if there's a fake wick up, you're going to get rejected here on this uptrending resistance. That is now resistance that's been acting as support since the bottom of the channel. If you get rejected here, it's very bearish and you come back down typically to the bottom of the channel. You do have 102.60, which I'll preface, if that holds, it could just be a consolidation and a weird one at that. But that's what I think we're at right now. Does anybody have anything more to add to the dollar before we go back? We have 112 people now. Wow. So we have a good audience. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll give you a second to answer. And then we'll go back to more of the cryptocurrencies. Take a look at some of the ones we haven't covered. Make a look at the XRP market cap. You should always rewatch the live. Omar, I actually mentioned it going back below while you've been on, after you asked the question. I showed very clearly. I'll go back to it in just a second. But you should always rewatch the live, but I'll go back to it. I've actually mentioned it several times. But I know it gets difficult because I talk about a lot of stuff. But if you want to show support for me outside of just hitting the like button, because if you don't want to do that, there's an easier way. You can join Tom's Army, which I pinned in the comments. Thank you, Miss Vicky, for that advice. That shows me support. I don't do any paid advertising, promotions, or sponsorships of any kind. I don't charge for any of my content. I like to keep it a free viewing experience. And I don't like to be controlled by anybody. I just like to put out my content. So I turn down all sponsorship and partnership offers. Or any kind of promotions. So I appreciate everybody. I always do, but I want to stay live. Yeah, so stay live. Well, if you would have just said I want to stay live, show me it again, I would do it right now. So I will show you right now, but that's what we're looking at with the DXY. So let's see if it gets a bearish rejection here, or if the golden cross plays out, and this was a fake out to retest the 200-day, which is very common. So with XRP, what I was talking about, Omar, real quickly for you, since I love you. For the 2020 uptrend to go back under 40 cents, first steps first. We have a bearish hammer. So this looks like we failed the retest in the daily. It just looks like we failed it. So if we continue down with the escrow dump of 1 billion, first layer to break through, which seems like it's going to happen, is this 503. Most likely that will fall tonight. Unfortunately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Unless we can find volume that I'm not seeing, that probably won't happen until September 2nd to find newfound volume. Maybe late day in September 1st, sometime in the afternoon, midday, evening, on the East Coast, or in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Now, with the all-time chart, which actually, no, we can't go there yet. There's one more layer. What you could also fall into is this channel that was formed. We have 3 hits on resistance, 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 even though we have an overzealous run-up, but it still formed a channel. That ended up being resistance. Support, support, support down here. That confirms the pattern. If it breaks through here, you have a swing low of 435, but it's right in the area of this channel. If you lose the channel, it's bad news if you lose the 446 or the 449. Just somewhere in that area on this channel. Just say the 435 for the swing low. If you lose that, that's your guarantee you're going to sub 40 cents. So you could have a volatile drop with the escrow and still not come sub 40 cents. So it is a good question. So let's say you break that channel in the swing low, which we have on here still. Your actual pattern formation here, despite all of this, I'm getting rid of all this. I don't want all this on the all-time pattern. This is on all the other charts. We know the swing low, but the actual pattern here, and this is the pattern. So we got rejected at the top of this short-term formation from 2021, and then the uptrend started on the March of 2020. So the overall pattern started a little bit earlier, as that's the all-time pattern, but the uptrend, it goes the same. And the overall pattern fills out farther as you drop. So if we get rejected here, the next major part here, bottom line, is down here at the 37, what is this now? It's right about 37.9, 38 cents as we continue up this uptrend. So that's what we're looking at here. That's the best I can put it for XRP. And I think that's the last time I'm going to do the whole rundown tonight. because, you know, it gets a little repetitive. But that's the most I can do. Yes, Miss Vicky, I give my heart and soul. I really do. Darren, welcome in. I appreciate you tuning in, mate. And thanks for all the information today. I'm slacking. Sent me a lot of stuff to look at. I just had a lot of stuff today with the kids and with tea stuff. But I'm going to get to it. I got to some of it. Very, very informative. A lot of stuff, too, that's just insane. Oh, yeah. Darren White. What am I? I crossed you both up. I was going to say Darren, and I... See, I did cross it up. Darren White is who I'm talking about. Darren Plum is the other Darren, but no less of a Darren at that. He's just a newer Darren. Like I said, it's been a very busy day. It's a fine name indeed, isn't it? How are you doing, Darren? Hopefully you're doing well. Party on the yacht, yes. In time. So, there are two of you indeed. There are two of you. So, I mean, that's where we're at with XRP. If we look at, let's see. If we look at not just XRP, but let's go to the market cap now. We'll go to Bitcoin in a second. But the market cap for XRP dropped just under 1 billion today. Now what you want to see, especially in the daily time frame, you have a bearish hammer there, just like on the XRP price action. You close under the 200 EMA in the daily, just like the XRP price action. And now the next major support, as we've talked about, is coming down here and retesting this 25.2 billion. And it's not even a retest. It's just the bottom of this form channel. If you break that, you've got problems. You've got a lot of problems if you break this newfound channel. Then we're coming down to some lower levels. I prophesized that this move would be approximately around that 44.6 or 44.8 level we talked about on XRP's price action. If we're coming back to the 2020 uptrend, we're going to have to break this channel. So, there's probably more downside. It's more than likely downside here with the Ripple escrow dump of 1 billion tokens. We've already seen 400 million tokens unlocked thanks to, I don't remember the rest of his name. I would say OMG, but that's not right. I don't think. But put that information out right when we started. It was 400 million unlocked. So that was good. So we already know the start of the escrow. But with this bearish hammer, it tells us we're going to be bearish. Unless we find some volume, we have a death cross looming. So we have to honestly prepare for a drop. That's why I put a warning out in my video this morning. And I just said bearish hammer, and with the 1 billion escrow looming, it is what it is. So, hey, thank you so much for the $10 donation, Ron. I think that said Ron. Let me look at my phone because it closed so quick. That's the first donation of the night. I greatly appreciate that. I do. It means a lot to me, more than you guys know. Ron, reverse Batman or W bottom. Surprised no one is saying this. That's bullish if you ask me. Overall, maybe, but I'm talking about in the immediate short term. I mean, I've already said, I think, if you look at the all-time pattern, we have to come up right now. We come up here first to likely come up to 518 to try to see rejection. That's possibly what could happen. So, I mean, I see that likely could happen. But, like, as far as the W, I mean, it seems like we've got a little bit more to be desired than just... I'm not really seeing what you're going at here. I don't know what you're looking at, honestly. Whoops. I'm obviously missing something in some time frame. I guess I'm just so focused on what I'm seeing. I mean, selling half your bag, again, you're going to take... Okay, so if you bought your XRP and you sell it, I mean, you are taking a hit tax-wise on gains, but I mean, if you bought it where we bought it, you likely have gains. So are you willing to throw away 30% or to buy it cheaper? I mean, as long as you have a plan, but remember, there's no guarantee this plays out. These are the indicators, and this is just our best guess. I've seen it many times where everything points one direction. It seems impossible. And then all of a sudden volume comes out of nowhere right after the escrow dump. And it's like, well, where the hell did this come from? And then you easily eat it up and it absorbs it. And you've never actually got a chance. So, you know, we still have to play out this part of the pattern. So if you're gonna sell something, make sure you do it when you get confirmation. Notice, is that pattern done yet? If we decide to retest the top points, if we're using wicks, there's still room here. So the key here is why I always say 20% cheaper from my buying. I'm not selling to buy in cheaper. You don't want to be paying taxes. It's compounding. I don't think a lot of people understand that don't trade often. So you want to stay transparent with yourself in the portfolio. I'm telling you. So there's nothing wrong with trying to fill some dry powder. Even if you got to collect cans, do whatever, work a few extra hours, make $50 a week more, and at the end of 12 months, that's $2,500. Or I mean, yeah, $2,400. At the end of every month, that's $200. That's a little bit of dry powder in case something happens, and it doesn't all happen at once. Right now, we've had months, 8 to 10 months. If we were doing this, you could have several $1,000s now. So that's where we're at right now. That's why I harp on let's get some dry powder. But with the short term, this is just, hey, if we want to create a little short-term formation to see if we're coming to the 2020 uptrend, this is a good way to start. I do smell fire, actually. And look how foggy. Yeah, look how smoky it is outside. Holy shit. Hey, everybody. Where I live, I was wondering what was going on. All of a sudden, we got a bunch of smoke in Michigan. It smells. And it is, you can see it coming through the air. I don't even know if I should stay outside. Like, what is going on? You can see it, though. It started not too long ago. I'm glad you came out here and said something, Julie. Because I've noticed this since the live started. Now it's just getting smokier and smokier, and it smells weird. Hopefully somebody's doing a fire and burning stuff next door or something. Because it is smoky. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to see this. Wow. No, it is real smoky, actually. Is something on fire, Julie? It smells like something's on fire. Like, it's so smoky. Wow. I'm gonna pull my camera out and see if anybody can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's gonna show up. Nah, it's probably not gonna show up on my camera. Someone's walking down there. I don't want to put them in the shot. I'll ask Julie when she comes back. She walked into the backyard. I don't know. I can't really see it on here. It's too bright. But I'm telling you, there's smoke coming through the air right now. And I don't know what it is. It looks so weird. I don't know. Let me go to my video. Maybe it'll look better. No, that looks like crap. Oh, that looks real bad. What happened to my screen? Apparently they don't want you to see. Look how bad my video looks. What the hell is going on with that? But yeah, no, it's very smoky. I apologize. It just, all of a sudden it caught me off guard. There's literally smoke in the air everywhere over here now. When I started, it was nowhere. And I can feel it in my lungs. Nazir, that is absolutely 100% incorrect. That is absolutely, see, the only reason I'm going to be so blunt, and it's not good to pass information if you're not 100% certain about it, especially in this case. You don't want to mess with people's money. So I would appreciate if some of you don't make those comments about if you keep it on the exchange. That's absolutely not true. If you sell it on the exchange, even into a stable coin, it's at the point of sale. In the USA, it's at the point of sale. At no point does it say only when you withdraw. It actually says at point of sale is when the taxes occurred. So I've heard this a lot, and I've heard other influencers push it. I'm not going to say who because it's above the influencer and it's more about the issue. But that's, in my opinion, how a lot of this issue gets created by false information spread by someone who shouldn't even be talking about it. And that's not you. I'm talking about influencers. No, it's not only if you sell the USD. If you hold XRP, If you sell XRP, it doesn't matter what you put it into. I can put it into DGB. I did it through my taxes. You can tell me all you want, crazy, and I'm not going to argue about it. I've done my taxes the last several years, and it taxes you on everything, even things that I sold out for other cryptocurrencies. So, with all due respect, I've paid over $12,000 in 2021, 22, and 23 to do this. But I mean, it's fine. You can laugh at me all you want. I'm just trying to spread the truth. So, I'm just being honest with you. I don't have any reason to lie. And there's no reason to try to get me upset because it won't work. I'm still looking at this smoke. So there's no fires going on? We just got filled with smoke? Because look, even behind us, it's smoke.
Well, I mean, like the house next door to Jack, it looked like there was like a little plume, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it was just a lot of smoke that came through. Hopefully it's just something. Yeah, no, don't mess with the tax, man. But yeah, it's all good. If it gets anybody disheveled, so be it. But that's just the facts. So anyhow, that's what we're looking at for XRP. If we're waiting for the big drop, first layer to break would be this 497. It actually lines up perfect with our short-term pattern formation. That's the uptrend. We already know that. But now we're retesting. If we break down from the earlier pattern, much bigger formation, in fact, you have this uptrend right here. That's what we're looking at. If you go back here, where we created just from the wick low to the wick low, it's still the same exact support level that we have to break. The formation's filling out, and now you can get up here to the resistance at 545. Yeah, I don't have one with me tonight there, and I would have to go inside. It's already been 51 minutes. I mean, if you would like me to roll one and relax with everybody before I leave, I can certainly do that. But you're going to have to watch the price action by yourself if that's the case. But I can certainly do that as we're winding down here. I don't have any objection to that. E printed a hammer on the daily. Oh yes, we printed a bearish hammer on the daily candle. Hang out longer, Dean? Oh, I can certainly do that. I got a little bit longer still, that's why I was asking. But yeah, I mean, that's what's going on here with XRP. So we can watch this. I'll keep it on XRP and I'll put it into a smaller time frame real quick. It doesn't take me long. You guys know I roll very, very quickly. Bugs are coming out now all of a sudden, which is fantastic. But this is what we talked about. This must have been the W. But we talked about the retest up here first. We weren't coming lower without a proper retest. That's 518. So, and that's that formation. And now, if we go into the longer time frames, we actually see if we break past that, you technically have ambitions. If you can break past the short term now, and it's looking not so great in this circumstance with XRP, but you technically could come all the way back up to 541 in this rotation if you go down to the swing low and go by wicks to the uptrend, wick to wick. So, other than that, that's kind of like false hope. You have to look at this formation and first off, see if you can get past this 518 area. So we'll see what happens in the short term, but we've definitely, as someone said, created a W reversal here in the short term. And this looks like it just gets you back to retest the drop point. So we'll see what happens here. I'll be right back, everybody. I appreciate that, everybody. When there's 101 people, it's hard for me to just walk away, but you know, I do appreciate that greatly. So, I mean, I don't really want to keep it silent. So, I'm not going to play my traditional music, but I do have something in mind. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Okay. I'll be honest, I miss having that music in the background. That always got me going when I... But anyhow, so I appreciate everybody sitting here. Wow, how many people decided to stay? 69. I told Julie there was 107 when I left. I said there's probably going to be about 70 people left. I think I said it's 70. So I do appreciate that greatly. So MDF, thank you so much for the $20 donation. Are you serious? Wow. That's so generous. And you know, I don't mind leaving to come back at the end, because now we've been here an hour. Now it's just the 70 of us, 69 of us talking. And it's the smokers who, exactly. That's exactly what it is too. So, but MDF, thank you so much, seriously, for the $20 donation. That's incredibly generous of you to spend your hard-earned money. He's very generous indeed, very generous. Thank you, JW. Yes, Mike, the dabs absolutely take tolerance away. That's a downfall. I don't like them because they're too thick on my lungs, I'll be honest. I like the way they make me feel, but I can do without the way my lungs feel after. It almost makes you feel like when you're smoking a THC pen. Is the music too loud? I just put it on to have a little bit of something in the background right now. Is it too loud or is it okay? Since I can hear it, but... Nope, good. All right, perfect. Perfect. And thank you, everybody, for staying in. Hey, Philip, I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I told you, we have a nice environment here. We really do. I'm flabbergasted we're over 18,300 subscribers. I don't know what's going to happen to end the year, if we're going to be able to hit 20,000. But I'm damn proud we were able to break our goal of 17,500 already, just before September. To be over 18.3 is pretty, I think it's incredible, everybody. Be better, throw some stick figure in there, buddy. So, I mean, if XRP has any hope, you know, you would assume, as he said, the stick figure, we would reach up here and we would see if we're good. See if we're, you know, we try to, I guess, hard it. Come in here. Maybe this guy's wearing his hat. You know, maybe he's, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is. Not a hat. But maybe we're going to try to come up there with the price action. And then we're going to see, you know, maybe his kids are down here and they're like, Dad, damn it, I need help. We need help down here. And then you got the little dog down here running around. So we don't know what Sparky's doing down here. I don't know what the hell this is. I'm not I can't draw. So there you go. You got Dad coming up there. He's going to get rejected by the fence. And then I don't know why he's hanging his son or daughter, but he's trying to make sure they're okay. And, yeah. That's what's going on. He's fishing. See? That's better. He's fishing. All right, forget the son and daughter. So this guy's fishing. Oh, yeah, the chef hat. That's right. I don't even know if I can draw a chef hat, to be honest with you. You guys know my drawing. I am not a good drawer. I'm good at a lot of things, but, you know, maybe he's got something like... Oh. No, that's not what I wanted. Son of a bitch. Yeah, there we go. Nah. I don't know what the hell that is. Actually, you know what? I think I could draw a better hat by doing one thing, honestly. I think I could draw a better hat. No, that doesn't look like a hat, does it? That kind of just looks like a weird hairdo. There we go. See, I don't know. Now that kind of looks weird. I might get banned for this. We'll just pretend it's a hat. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. We'll pretend. And most people say this is the easy part of the technical analysis, being able to draw a hat. I disagree. See, this is why I like the last few minutes of this session, because we just do whatever. You know, I thought I used to be able to draw it. That looks so bad. How did I used to do it? Like, oh, what's he wearing, like a football helmet? There we go. All right. I'll take it. That's fine. It's a cowboy hat of sorts. No, now, you know, now he's like wearing a TV on his head. Whatever. He can't wear that. That just doesn't look right. I'll just draw a circle. Then we'll continue. But somebody asked me to draw stick figures, and I guess this goes into the price action. I don't know, whatever. That's good enough. There we go. There you go, sir. You're a sports fan. You're wearing the next up-and-coming hat. Whatever. I was going to draw XRP, but you can't even see it. I drew the hat so bad. My 10-year-old and the 16-year-olds would be so disappointed. My son can draw better than this, and he's 4 probably. I can't even get it on the right spot. There, yeah, all right. That's our hat. I'll take it. That's our hat. So you got the dad. He was having fun. He was about to break the fence line. He was about to go out and, I don't know, maybe have a beer or something, go bowling. He was just going to get out. He's actually trying to go to the yard. He's cutting the hedges. And the kid goes over there. The baseball goes over. And then he gets his fucking rope stuck in the fence or whatever. For some reason, the kid's hanging. But I don't even know if that's a kid. He could be fishing. Down at the bottom is where they're going to end up going for old Sparky. And that's the dog down in this direction. And I think that's where the price action has to go. Oh, yeah, that is what it looks like with John Madden. So XRP is going to come up here, and it's going to get defended by here. No, they get defended by the 2-3 zone, and they come back down. You know, that's just how it goes. Brett Favre down here. That's Brett Favre over here getting flattened by the curb. Curb stomped after he stole that money. Oops. Don't want to speak a truth. He was awesome. Rest in peace, John. Old John Madden. I mean, I guess technical analysis could go. So, yeah. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. We're going to try to get, that's them throwing a pass. That was them throwing a pass on 4th down, apparently, because there's a number 4 there. I know if I actually get back into watching John Madden stuff, if I actually watch John Madden, I very eerily sound just like him, as I was told in high school all the time, because I would act like him, and I was fat in high school, a lot fatter than I am now. And you know, it was funny because I could imitate him, and I had my rolls going on my neck. You know, my belly was bouncing, and I just looked like John Madden. If I was in my suit or whatever, it would be perfect. Perfect. Oh, I know, it would be some funny stuff. They are. Anyhow, somebody said XDC, so let's look at that real quick. XDC hasn't given it all up yet. That's a very important pivot level, but it looks like we have a top and reversal, and this is nothing more than a right arm. We circled that area the first time, that it was a left shoulder likely. Does anybody remember that in the lives? We said that would likely play as a left shoulder if it was going to come up to 7 cents. It didn't even make it up there, but it's still playing like a left shoulder. We ended up coming up to 673, but now it's a topping reversal. You can see it. That looks like a topping reversal. This is the right arm. Unless it's a fake out, you would have to pull a quick W reversal off this and break past here and move up. Otherwise, this looks like we could be topping out here, unfortunately. OSW. What did he say? Oh, you have a channel on YouTube? Interesting. I did not know. Oh, you don't? I thought somebody said that they would be your first subscriber. Interesting. So that's XDC. We broke out of a big rising channel and now we are where we're at. XLM, since we're going through the X's, you got to go through all three X's. XLM is in a bad way right now. Getting rejected here, and we know this pattern. It will likely fill out here, and we've talked about the most opportune time for XLM, if it can hold, is at 10.8. If it breaks this section, you come down to about 8.7. But that's the formation we're still in, so I wouldn't expect anything less but it to come down to 10.8, and I've even marked it in that area. So we're just waiting for this to play out with XLM. And then finally, Bitcoin. We had a technical target on the breakdown of 25,193. It came to 25,371. So I was saying after it came up there and got rejected, if it didn't break up, if we broke up, we could see the target. We did not. So now breaking down, we know the technical target because we've already confirmed a breakdown here. We're coming back to at least 25,371. But I think this would be the time likely for Bitcoin. Maybe this is where we hit my technical target and see what we do from there. But Bitcoin, we'll see if it has lower ambitions. 25,194, 193 was the target from the breakdown up here. So we didn't quite hit it. So I said, has it come close enough? Or after we get the liquidity to confirm the death cross, which we overran it, but now it's confirmed it. Because you see, even when you overrun the death cross, you have to validate it by holding the support. We came back up over it. Had a well push over it. We came to 28,134. I was looking for a return to 27,700. It ran over it by 400 bucks. Failed to hold it, and now we're completely reversing back down, and we've confirmed the death cross. So now I believe, I don't even know if this is going to hold it at 25,125. You could be firmly looking at this downtrending support catching back up, and this being your real big area. Man, do I smell the smoke here. It is crazy, and you can see it in the lights. What is going on? I'm telling you, if they're starting this shit again right now in Michigan, it was bad enough last time, but this is thick, man. It's almost making my throat sore. It's thick. Matter of fact, I wonder if when I look at the street light with my phone and my tablet, you guys will be able to see it, who's ever stayed. Absolutely. You see how thick that looks in the light, everybody? You can see, look how it's moving. You see that? Look at that, everybody. You can see the smoke moving. You can see it reflecting. We don't know. Me and Julie looked. There's no fires around here. We don't know. You can see it coming straight from the sky, though. But man, it is actually thick. Man, I wish my video camera would show up better. I don't know what is going on. Nah, see, it's not showing up as much on the video. Man, but I can tell that is so thick. It's definitely... Ah, it's so hard to see, though. I could definitely see it when I first turned that camera on, for sure. It's just weird because I can see it moving through. I was almost hoping I could see a fire, but after, I don't see anything. Is there a fire coming through? I mean, storms? Not that I know of. Today's a clear night. We got nothing. This is a very clear night, no storms. So... we don't have anything here tonight, honestly. Oh, really? Oh, well, I don't want to go onto your Telegram while we're live. I don't want to put your stuff out there. I'll definitely take a look after. Oh, no, you're fine. They were crazy storms. So yeah, nothing coming in tonight at least. I'm just wondering why it got so thick all of a sudden here, but man, it's making it uncomfortable actually, to be honest with everybody. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look later, Darren, for sure. That's why old Vincenzo was busting my balls a little bit, but, you know, he is the weatherman, so to say. But, you know, sometimes you can't see what's right in front of you because you're trying to look for technicality or terminology. You know, I've lived in Michigan my whole life, and I can tell you, I've seen these storms that look similar, but not like that. Not where it looks like the whole sky's glitching. But, you know, my brother speaks from a lot more emotion than I do, so... At least in certain things. With all the stuff going on, don't be in it. Yeah, no, I'm about to go inside, everybody, seriously. So, thank you all. I appreciate everybody, but yeah. I bought a bunch of real masks. Highly graded ones as well. Just because I feel like something bad's gonna happen, so we're gonna see. But this isn't right. I'll see you all later. I'm gonna do a little investigation here and see what's going on. Stay blessed, everybody.